I'm Jabez. Yes, that Jabez. The one whose name means he who causes pain. Not exactly the kind of name you'd want on a resume, huh? But names can be deceiving. Let me take you back to where it all began. Well, not all the way back. I'm not that old. That's me. Oh, about 40 years ago. Not exactly living my best life, as they say. More like, barely living if you catch my drift. Every day, the same old routine. Wake up, work, sleep, repeat. It was like being stuck in a sandstorm, going nowhere fast. Every morning, I'd step out that door, my name a constant reminder of the pain I was supposedly destined to cause. Talk about a daily demotivator, huh?
It is not the name that defines a man, but his faith and actions.
Words of wisdom, sure. But when you've spent your whole life under the shadow of a name like mine, well, let's just say it's not that simple. It's like trying to swim upstream in a river of molasses. Sticky situation, if you know what I mean. Day in, day out, same old story. Work hard, keep your head down, try not to live up to your name. But you know what? Sometimes life has a way of surprising you, like finding an extra olive in your lunch when you least expect it. Loneliness? Oh, it was my constant companion, like a shadow that never leaves, even when the sun goes down. But you know what they say, it's always darkest before the dawn. Now, I won't pretend I was some kind of saint, but in that moment, well, let's just say my stomach and my conscience had a little chat. Sometimes a small act of kindness can change everything, or at least make your stomach growl a little louder. It was like God himself was painting the sky just for me. And suddenly, I knew. It was time for a change. Maybe a career in art criticism? Nah. I had something bigger in mind. But change? Ha! Easier said than done. Especially when you've spent your whole life believing you're destined for, well, not greatness, that's for sure. More like mediocrity's less successful cousin. And yet, there I was, about to do something that would change everything. I just didn't know it yet. Funny how life works, isn't it? One moment you're sharing your lunch, the next you're, well, you'll see. Brace yourselves, folks. This is where things get interesting. And by interesting, I mean absolutely mind-bogglingly life-changing. Now, I'm not saying I was about to have my own burning bush moment, but let's just say things were about to heat up in the blessing department.
Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from evil, that I may not cause pain.
Talk about shooting for the stars, eh? I mean, who asks for all that in one go? Me, apparently. But hey, when you've got nothing to lose... Life went on, you know, but something was different. It was like someone had turned up the color saturation on my world. Everything just seemed brighter. Like when Moses came down from Mount Sinai, but with less stone tablets and more, well, you'll see. And then things got interesting. My crops? They started growing like they were on some kind of ancient super fertilizer. I half expected to see Jack's beanstalk sprouting up next door. And my flocks. Let's just say they took the whole be fruitful and multiply thing very seriously. I was starting to feel like Noah after the flood, but with better weather. But the real miracle? People actually started to like me. I know I was as shocked as you are. It was like I'd gone from village pariah to the most popular guy since King David. Minus the whole Goliath thing, of course. Standing there, looking at everything God had blessed me with, well, let's just say it was a bit overwhelming. I mean, talk about an extreme makeover. Biblical edition. Turns out, not everyone was thrilled with my newfound success. Some folks looked at me like I'd stolen their last piece of matzo. And let me tell you, managing all this new wealth and influence, not exactly a walk in the park. More like a walk through a field of thistles. Barefoot. Every day brought new challenges. It was like playing a game of ancient Tetris, but instead of blocks, I was juggling people's needs, expectations, and a whole lot of livestock. Let's just say I gained a whole new appreciation for Moses' job description.
Your success has come at our expense. You're causing us pain, just like your name says.
And just like that, it felt like I was right back where I started. Only now, instead of being ignored, I had a whole village angry at me. Talk about out of the frying pan and into the fire. Or should I say, out of the desert and into the Dead Sea.
Lord, I don't understand. I asked for your blessings, but now I need your guidance more than ever.
Sometimes when you're at your lowest, all you can do is look up. And boy, did I look up. I looked up so hard, I'm surprised I didn't get a crick in my neck. But then again, when you're waiting for a sign from God, a little neck pain is a small price to pay. Heh. Well, folks, remember when I said things were about to get interesting? Let's just say, interesting doesn't even begin to cover it. The village was about to witness a transformation like no other. It was like waking up to find the Red Sea had parted in my backyard. The air crackled with possibility, and you could almost taste the change on the wind. Suddenly, it hit me harder than a stone from David's sling. True blessing isn't about what you have. It's about what you do with it. And boy, did I have plans.
My friends, I've been blessed not for my sake, but for ours. Let's use these gifts to build something greater than ourselves. Together, we can transform our village into a beacon of hope and prosperity.
And just like that, we were off to the races. Or should I say, off to build a better community. It was like watching a garden bloom in fast forward. Suddenly, I was the go-to guy for everything from farming to conflict resolution. It was like I had downloaded the wisdom of Solomon overnight. Who knew? It was like I had a never-ending supply of, well, everything. Fruits, vegetables, you name it. I half expected loaves and fishes to start multiplying next. And conflict resolution? Let's just say Solomon had nothing on me. I was stretching myself thin, but in all the right ways. You know, it's funny. My whole life I thought my name was a curse. Turns out it was more like a challenge to turn pain into purpose. Before I knew it, my little corner of Israel was buzzing like a hive of very industrious, surprisingly cooperative bees. It was a sight to behold, let me tell you.
Remember, my friends, wisdom isn't about knowing everything. It's about knowing how to use what you know for the good of all.
Heh, who would have thought we'd be taking lessons from young Jabez? The Almighty works in mysterious ways indeed.
It's amazing how much has changed in just a few years.
Yes, and to think it all started with Jabez's prayer. Who knew asking for a blessing could bless us all?
Days turned to weeks, weeks to months, and before we knew it, years had passed. But oh, what years they were, full of growth, learning, and more than a few miracles. Our little village had become a shining example of what can happen when blessings are shared. And that, my friends, is how a man named Pain became a source of blessing. It just goes to show, with a little faith and a lot of hard work, even the most unlikely names can become legendary.
Tell us the story again, Grandfather Jabez. Please? The one about how you changed our village.
Again? Well, all right. But this time, pay attention to the part about the flying sheep. I may have exaggerated that bit, or did I? Winks at the camera.
Looking back, I realized that the real blessing wasn't the stuff I got. It was the chance to make a difference, to see a community grow, to watch lives change. Now that's what I call a true miracle. And you know what? That's a legacy I'm proud to put my name on, even if that name is Jabez. Because now, when people hear Jabez, they don't think of pain. They think of possibility.
Remember, little ones, it's not about what your name means, but what you mean by your name. Your actions, your choices, that's what defines you.
And that, as they say, is that. From a man who causes pain to a man who planted seeds of joy. Talk about a plot twist, eh? Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I hear the Almighty calling. Probably wants some gardening tips for Eden. Or maybe he's just checking in on his favorite comeback story. Chuckles. Remember, folks, when life gives you a name that means pain, make, well, not lemonade, maybe a nice kosher wine? Ah, you get the idea. Shalom, and may your own story be just as blessed.